Okay, reading from World Star, and we're going to watch a video right afterwards. It says Gary Owens, the comedian, claims it's more socially accepted for a white man to date a black woman than for a white woman to date a black man. Now, we already know this, but black men already know this, or, even some black. There was a time that a lot of black women knew this at one point as well. But, there's been a lot of people that try to act like this is, we're just making this stuff up. But these are facts. But anyways, let's watch the video of Gary Owens explaining this and how the black female co-host with Nick Cannon, when asking interracial dating race-related question, how she tried to be slick about it, but it was fine. Gary Owens took it on the chin and was able to put the words in a context where everybody can understand.
Always like that.
It was always like that.
Always like black.
Well, were your parents ever like?
I didn't really care about it. I'm not fucking them.
Well, I mean, I understand that. But you know,
You might say your parents racist. Is what you
no,
trying
I'm
to
just
say.
saying a lot of times white parents don't necessarily want to see their kids with other.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
I
You
do-
keep
I
the
do
white
think-
race strong.
I will be honest. I think it's a lot easier as the son bringing a black girl home
I
than
believe
a
that.
white girl bringing a black guy
I
home.
believe
that.
That would
Nah,
hit
that I
different.
believe.
So
Yeah,
that's
that
different.
makes
So to
sense.
say one of my sisters brought a black guy home, the response might have been a little different. Bring a black girl, like, oh, all right.
You tapping that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's real shit though.
I think it's a much easier shock
Right.
if it's the white guy bringing a black girl home.
Now, what was interesting was, I don't know what the female co-host agenda was, but it was a slick way to ask, are your parents are your white parents secretly racist? And if a white guy brings a black girl home, that was basically where she was trying to get at. But what she doesn't understand is it's not even, because when a white dude brings a black girl home, I'm not saying the parents love that. The white parents don't really like that as well, but it's not like Gary Owen said, it's not really a big deal, to be quite honest. It's not that much of a big deal. They rather not. They rather like a different race of girl than a black girl. That is true, but especially if the white dude doesn't care at all, it's never going to be a big deal. Especially if the white dude doesn't even need to bring it up. But if it is a white woman bringing a black man home, it's different. We know this, but she tried to put Gary Owens on blast to try to see, is his parents racist or not, and all that nonsense. And by her doing this, she actually kind of helped black men's cause unintentionally. But I want to show you this though. This is what was interesting to me, right? This is what was interesting to me. I want you to look at the comments, right? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna zoom in on the comments. So, plus people got to understand. Gary Owens, he likes black women. That's usually the women that he dates. That's what he prefers. Okay, so he's the perfect person to relay this. you know what I mean? So, what's interesting is in the comments, I saw no black women arguing what he was saying. Even though black men have been saying this for a minute, but black women have tried to come up with all these different things, on why it's a problem when black men date white women. You hate your mama, and you must hate yourself and all this, all the nonsense. But really, it just is what it is. It's just something that's been passed down, right? So I want you to look at these comments, and it's basically everybody agreeing with Gary. Now, I already know if this was a black man that said the same thing, you'd have been saying the black man is making an excuse just to be with white women. But we already know that. We know the dynamics. We know what the dynamics are, right? So it's interesting when you look at the comments. It's nobody disagreeing with Gary. Maybe it's because he's white. Maybe it's because he's a white dude that prefers black women, so black women think there's hope. Whatever the reason might be. Now, for him to say this, for him to admit this, is great. I think it's great. Now, this is the interesting part. There's a lot of people, because I've tried to explain this dynamic. They try to always write off, like, so if a black dude dates, they try to make it like, oh, black dudes only date the leftover white women or fat white women. And I'm not saying there's nothing to that, because I don't think black men necessarily get the best white women at times, but I think a lot of that is cope, because the dudes that are saying this are not necessarily the top dudes or the dudes that was going to attract the top tier white women in the first place. So it's kind of a thing where you have these white dudes in the middle that would have gotten the quote unquote leftover white women, but they're going to a different race. And I've always just said this, like I would just always, and I would I always say my advice is to never pedestalize one group of women, because black men made that mistake. You know what I mean? Like, black men are the most progressive group of men on earth, particularly when you're talking about African American black men, the FBAs, right? And look what happened to them. They lost their women forever. So I would say my advice to white men in that demographic is to really not trip over particularly if a white woman is dating a black dude or whatever, because the more you trip about it, the more that they're going to want to do it, right? So like I've seen this happen firsthand, where it'll be a white girl, she brings one of these interesting type of ninjas home. The dad, I've seen where the dad, or I'll know of the dad, he doesn't even make a big deal about it. He barely blinks. He actually accepts the dude with open arms, and then all of a sudden she gets turned off, because we already know the biggest turn off for a woman is if the dad actually likes the dude. She'll end up she's gonna have a problem with that. So the more you trip about it, the more you think you're hiding your insecurity or your displeasure of the situation. Just because of that, women will just take that leap of faith and end up hurting themselves a lot of the times, because then they end up going after a certain type of black man that nobody wants their daughter dating. You know what I mean? So this is the stuff you got to watch out for. Somebody said Gary spitting facts. So we got another white dude that will come out. He said, most of my relationships have been with black women and they get mad hate for it. It's weird getting mad at a stranger. And he's right, because you'll have you have now the pro black men now, they get tight about it when they see black women with white men, right? So I'm talking about the Gen Z black men. They get tight about it, right? So now we have this thing where it's like this weird tug of war between black men and black women, where they're trying to compete over which gender of the white race loves us the most. And it's kind of embarrassing. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to say about that on that end. It's just maybe because I primarily went to school with white people for most of my schooling, so I've never really saw the big deal. But yeah, that whole weirdo, interracial dating war, that's just, yeah, that they got going on Twitter. Somebody said, I don't give a F who the F any of y'all with. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. Wait, let me look. She looks mixed, so I don't know. Maybe she might not be capping. But yeah, we already know what it is, though, when it comes to that. But, glad that Gary Owens has something to say about it. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.